Okay, so we'll be trying to demonstrate Hey, okay, so for this video, we'll be demonstrating how to make use of manipulating CSS, get and setting values in HTML and others. Okay, so first, let's try to create our form. So div class equals container slash div. Then go to place a card inside. Div class equals card slash div. Div class equals card header. Say this is a form. Just div class equals card body slash div class equals card footer slash div. And let's say, for example, I'm going to create here a form. So div class equals form group slash div, and inside I'm going to place a label. Let's say, for example, name, employee name slash label. Then I'm going to place an input box. Input type equals text. ID equals name, class equals form control. Okay, so let's say that's it. I'm going to create two input boxes. So I just copy and paste, and then just replace this one. Let's say, for example, employee name and address. And then address. Okay. Then let's say I'm going to place here a button. By the way, this is not a rehearsed video, so sorry if there are some lapses. Type equals button, class equals btn primary. Let's say ID equals btn submit, and then we have here submit slash button. Okay, so more or less that will be my user interface. So allow me to save my file and then launch it using Chrome. So that's my output. Okay. Now what I would like to do is every time I place my pointer on a control box, the background will change. Let's say it will change to light yellow, for example. So let's do the code for that one. So that will happen for both the text boxes. So name and address. So that event is what we call the focus event. Okay, and once it is focused, this function will be executed. So what are we going to do? Once we get focus that particular text box, so since there are two text boxes here, I'm going to use this. So this means that, for example, emp name has focus, then this is referring to emp name. If address has focus, then this is referring to address. Okay? Then that, so how do we change the background? CSS. Background color, let's say light yellow. Okay? So once it has focus, the background color will turn to light yellow. So let's check that first if that's okay. So once we save, refresh this file, there. So once we have the focus, it turns the background color to light yellow. Yeah. Okay. So let's add one more thing. What if it lost focus? Then it should return back to white. So what I'm going to do is just change that event so that to change or to lose focus, that is blur event, blur function so open, close, close. Then we, for blur event, we return back the background color to, let's say, white. Okay, so that's the focus event and the blur event, and we just have it changed it. So we save, and where's my program? Refresh, so it turns yellow. If it lost focus, it returns back to white. Okay, so aside from that, let's say for example I want this label to be in bold face if it has focus. So what will I do? So I'm going to add one more code here, this. So this is referring to this one, but what I want to turn bold is this code, which is actually previous to this particular control here. So to refer to that, just use pref, that means the previous one. So you're now referring to the label, and then CSS. Then we have here font weight bold, for example, and the font weight, double quote, column, double quote, bold, and then we have curly brace, close parenthesis. If it lost focus, we just turn back to normal. Okay, so again, let's refresh. Focus, you notice this is now in boldface. I focus here, this is in boldface, and this one returns to normal code. So let's add one more thing. Let's say I will only enable my button once both have values. So first, by default, I'll disable the button. So I'm going to place here, once loaded, so we have number, button submit. I think that's the name of my, yes, that's the name of my button. That prop property disabled is true. So initially the button is disabled. So if you refresh, so you notice that the button now is disabled. So what I would like to do is, once that these two text boxes already are not empty, then this button will be enabled. So I want to do that while I'm pressing keys. So I'm going to place here. So again, both on emp name and address. So I can change that one. So that keyup function, open, close, then close. So I would like to get the value of the two text boxes. So var, let's say emp name is equal to emp name that val. So I'm just trying to retrieve the value of emp name and address. Var address is equal to address dot val. So if emp name is not, or if one of them is blank, it's equal to blank, or they're not, both are not blank, so it's not equal to blank, and address is not equal to blank, then I will enable my button, else I will disable my button. So how do I enable the button? Button submit, property, disabled is, so enable, so disabled is equal to false. Otherwise, disabled is true. Okay? So let's try again. Oh, so that's it. I haven't saved the file. So again, let's take a look. So if I type here, this is still disabled. If I type here, so the moment I type a text, it will be enabled. If I remove that, then it goes back to disabled. Okay? Now let's add another one. I'm going to place here a span. ID equals, let's call this as message1 / span. Class equals margin left 2, so to place spaces. So let's say, for example, I'm going to show a message. So what's the name of my span? Message1 that HTML. So message span that HTML, say in boldface, please complete your entry. That's B. So while here, I can place here entry is complete. You can now submit. So let's try to check that one. So I'm going to refresh. So please complete your entry. Yeah, entry is complete. You can now submit. And let's say, for example, let us again change. So by default, this will be my message. So I'll be copying this also and pasting this here. So by default, that will be my message. You can also add more. So I'm going to press enter key, then that add class. So entry is complete. Let's say, for example, text success. That remove class text danger. So while here, the same that add class, but will be the reverse, text danger, that remove class, text success. So again, I'll be copying this above. Okay, let's try. So by default, it says here, please complete your entry. I'm going to enter name, I'm going to enter address. You notice it will change the message and also change the color. If I press backspace, it turns again back to red, and this one also is disabled. So let's try to review again our code. So what we did here is, once the window is ready, first we disable the button, we display the message, and then we have the following code. So if employee name and address gets focused, we change the background color to light yellow, and we change the label. That's why the previous element in relation to emp name or address, we change the font weight to bold. Blur is when it lost focus, then we just return it back to its original color or background color, white, and font weight to normal. Keyup is every time we press a key, so we get the value of employee name and address, and we try to check if both are not empty or both are filled. So if both are filled, we enable the button. That's why disable is turned into false. That's a button. We enable the button, and we change the HTML or the contents of this message, which is actually span, into entry is complete. You can now submit, and we add the class text success, that's using the green color, and remove the class text danger, that's the red color. But if both are not yet filled, then we disable the button. So disable is true, that's a property. Then HTML, please complete your entry, and then add class danger. So that means we're going to use the text danger class, and we remove the class text success. So that's the code for this program. So thank you for